Hello, Roslyn. This is Jim Delapine, and I'd like to give you some video feedback on your character, Flippin' Food Fred. First of all, let's go to the background layer, and I'm going to select that layer, and I'm going to hit D so that I get my default black foreground, white background. All right, I'm going to do this in shortcuts, so it will help you learn better. Okay, I'm going to fill that background layer with black, Alt Delete. Okay, so Alt Delete, and so that's the shortcut for that. And if you want to fill with the background color, it would be Control Delete. Okay, so I see that you have no stray pixels, and you did a great job with the cutting or masking out of the imagery using the layer mask. So if I hit spacebar control, that gives me access to the zoom tool from whatever tool you're in, and I can click, click, or click and drag to surround the area I want. And I see that you did a really excellent job. Although this looks a little weird. Maybe the photograph. Okay, so furthermore, if I have auto select checked and I'm in the move tool and I click on an element, notice what happens in the layers panel. See, it goes right to that layer. So anything you select, any pixel that you select, it will automatically select that layer. So that makes things a little easier. Well, actually, a lot easier. So if I also right click on the layer mask and select disable layer mask, I'll see the before image. So this way I can see that I can see everyone's original image. Okay, so that's another little tip there. And so actually you did a really good job. You followed the directions to the T, and I see that you have your guidelines set up to be within the 6 by 8 inch guidelines. So if I go to image size, I see that you have 8 by 10 by 300, which is perfect. And you did a great job. So let's talk about how you can improve this. So essentially you want these elements to look like they're sticking into the cabbage. So that would mean bringing some of them to the foreground. So let's select the cabbage, and I'll bring it down to the bottom, right above the background layer. And let's make that background white again. Okay, so Alt Delete. No, actually, yeah, Alt Delete. Okay, so I keep losing my delete key. Okay, so now we have everything in the front. So let's zoom in here and let's start with the tongs. So the tongs I had wanted. Well, actually, you did that. Okay. Okay, great. Let's select the tongs, and we want to let's see if we can animate this and make this a little more fun. So let's see the cookie. I can bring this up a little higher because we have some height to work with. Okay, so let me hit Control 0 to fit this in the window. We're going to hide the text, and I'm going to, let me see, I'm going to, nah, okay, I'm kind of thinking out loud here. Okay, so I'm going to go to those tongs, and let's try to make them look like they're stuck into the cabbage. Cabbage has some weirdness. Okay, so if I select that layer and select the layer mask, okay, then go to my paintbrush tool, and I'm going to click on the paintbrush and give this 100% hardness. Okay, I always want to paint with 100% hardness unless I want a blurred or hazy or fuzzy edge. Okay, which in this case I do not. Okay, so now you can, this is this paintbrush size that you see here. I can reduce the paintbrush size by hitting the left bracket key or under the plus sign or minus sign, or the right bracket key will increase your brush size. So that's a good little shortcut tip. So what I want to do is paint with black on using the layer mask with the layer mask thumbnail active, and that will mask out a portion of this. Okay, so whoops, I had the wrong layer active, so let me just select that again and make sure that the layer mask is active. So to make this look like it's stuck in there, it would disappear. Okay, you don't have to be too exacting with it. And then what we'll do is we'll create a shadow onto the lettuce from the height of the tongs. All right, so the same thing would hold true with the straw, but let's see. Let's zoom back out, Control 0, and let's bring the straw up here, And I'll bring this up here so we can get some height in there. And I'm going to make the straw a little thicker. It doesn't have to be realistic size-wise. So notice I'm going to take the registration point or the center point and drag it to the base of the straw. So now it will scale out from that point, or it will rotate around that point. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to click on any corner, scale out, and as I'm dragging, I'm going to hold down the Shift key to constrain, and the Alt key to scale out from that center point. Okay, and I'll just move this here and hit Enter. All right. This actually, I'm going to scale this up also. This feels a little. I want to be able to see it, so it feels a little small. So Shift Alt, okay, and I'll go up here. All right, hit Enter to apply the transformation, and I'll do the same to the spoon. And I'll move the origin point, they call it, there, and go to any corner, click and drag, hold down Shift to constrain, and Alt to scale out from that origin point. All right, so I'll hit Enter. Cookie, I'll bring this over here, and remembering that we want to have it so the tongs is grabbing the cookie. Actually, there's really not much to do here. There's no layer masking that we need to do. Okay, so so the banana, I would also perhaps like scale up, and we'll scale it up from this point here, and we'll go to Shift Alt after I start, drag it over here, and I don't know, we just hit Enter, and I'm just scaling up everything and try to take advantage and maximize my screen real estate for the character. So the tongues. Okay, so let's think what we could do about this. Let's consider what we could do about this creatively. I don't know. Nothing really comes to mind, but perhaps to make it look like he's, I don't know, dancing. So if these were the legs, let's say we'll put this here, the banana here, and then we'll drag this up here, and maybe and rotate this to make it look like he's kind of posturing or balancing on one leg. I don't know, something like this. Okay, and then with the banana, again, I will select the thumbnail for the layer mask, and then go to my paintbrush tool and mask out that portion of the banana to make it look like it's sticking into the cabbage. All right, and then we'll do the same thing with the tongues. I'll just quickly do that. Okay, so it looks like it's sticking in. Okay, so again, shadows will help this. Okay, and I can show you how to do that if you'd like. Actually, it looks a little weird. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Now I'm going to rotate the cookie and the. You know what? I'm thinking. Let's do something here. Okay, I'm going to see. Okay, I just had a thought. I'm going to click and shift click the tongs. So I have the tongs and the cookies active, and I'm going to move them over. And I'm going to hit Control T, and I'm going to move my origin point down here, and I'm going to rotate that, hit Enter. Now I'm going to take these tongs and duplicate them. Okay, so with this tong layer active, I'm going to hit Control J. So that duplicates the layer, it makes a copy. All right, then I'll take that copy, drag it up here, hit Control T, and rotate it. I'll just simply rotate it around. I don't know how this is going to look. Yeah, okay. Hit Enter. I could perhaps put something else in here that's circular, maybe this cookie again, to kind of visually represent eyes. I don't know. So to this, I could now go back to the layer mask and do something a little different here. I may want to just move this straw over and take this cookie and hit Control J to duplicate that cookie, and then move it over here. Okay, and I don't know, put it somewhere in here in the middle of the tongs. If I want to place it here, for example, well, actually anywhere in here would make it kind of work. I don't know. So, I mean, you could say, I don't know. Listen, you chose the elements, so you're always you always have the option of changing the elements. You're not stuck with this. You're not married to it. So see what you can do to stick more things in it, or to make perhaps a dancer, or gives us some kind of animation to this. So it's up to you. It's your call. All right. So I hope that helped. Good job on everything. Okay. And next we're going to be putting in a background, and we're going to be using adjustment layers. Okay. And saving selections as channels. Okay. So I hope that helped. Take care. Bye.